What's up, Fire Nation? It's your boy Rico. I'm on my little big cousin G-Baby and our boy Raul, the Zookeeper, and we are the Friendly Fire Podcast, the hottest podcast on either side of the Mississippi. Episode 50, baby.
50 of them
Curtis
things.
Jackson.
Zach Randolph.
We are here, 5-0.
We made it.
It's been a long time coming.
But I know.
A 50 gonna come. We here, baby. We here. How y'all doing? Wellness check.
Doing good and doing great.
Zoo, talk to me. Coming
Good.
fresh from the Fiesta.
Party. Back from Mexico, all that good
Back
stuff.
from the motherland, back from partying with your
Sir.
peoples. You just saw like a knockout or something, right? You
Yeah,
just
on
watching
the
fights?
UFC. Yeah,
You
yeah.
was watching all the fights.
I
You
was
just gotta
watching
just
all the
knock them
fights.
out.
No, it's cause so I left my family party mad early, and I linked up with some friends for Twin Peaks
Okay.
for the fight.
Very popular spot.
Shout out
yeah.
to our waitress. She looked like
Twin
Doja Cat.
Oh. They one time they closed.
Yeah. and then cause I said that. Well, I didn't say it to her. I told my homies. I was like, "Yo, she looks like Doja Cat." And then next time she came back, one of my homies, he's more bold. He was like, "Hey, you know you look like Doja Cat." And she was like, "Oh, I get that all the time." I was like, "All right." Last time we compliment. I hate when people
Dingleberg.
I hate when people beat me to the compliment. But nah.
Okay, that's
But
good.
yeah,
man.
it was fun. The Canelo lost. He looked like he didn't even want to be there.
I think he been done for a little.
I even asked my
He
homie.
be
I was
like,
like,
so?
"You think he's gonna retire?" He's like, "Nah, he's probably gonna like try to win and then maybe retire." But yeah, you look like you didn't.
What is he, mid-30s now?
I want to say early 30s, probably mid 30s.
But like when you've been fighting so long, it's just
Yeah.
one of them like I'm tired of my head getting hit, bro.
I mean, yeah.
Like
And then it's just like, man, you fought everybody.
you really did.
Like you done fought everybody twice. Like who else
Yeah,
is there?
because
left
he went
to
up a
fight?
weight class in this one. He was
So it's-
light heavyweight in this one.
Oh wow.
So you can't even really count the loss. It was like what's his face, the UFC dude, Adesanya, was it?
yeah,
When
yeah.
He did that when he went up the weight class,
Yeah.
and he was like, oh, he was like he looked a little slow. Dude was kind of just bear hugging him
Yeah.
the whole fight.
He's like,
makes
bro,
a
this
difference.
ain't what I normally do. So.
It's like a 30-pound difference. Like, damn. Like, you like, okay. And dude was like, I'm 165 and he's 130. Like, all right, dude. Like, all right.
Oh man, but we have a pretty good episode. Pretty excited. Another late night per usual for your boys.
Late night
But
entertainment.
we out here. First off, we want to start off by giving our condolences to Kevin Samuel's family.
Damn.
We don't really know what happened. Know that he passed away kind of unexpectedly. I guess they say he was at a hotel with a female friend of his and
Female.
and
With a
passed away.
nurse. I don't know how true that is. I feel like people are just addling.
Yeah.
They hate him.
The one thing because I was at the Saba concert when I found out, so
Yeah.
I was like wasn't really focused. It didn't like obviously stop or blow
Damn.
my high 'cause I
Right.
wasn't like heartbroken over the man. Like
Chance broke the news or what?
Oh, by the way, Saba gives a great performance. But yeah, it was just weird because I finally made it to Twitter and then to see like the amount of people that was just like ecstatic. Like I felt no way about the man. I didn't agree with everything he said, but he told his truth. He didn't like harm anybody directly. And it was just kind of like, and like we said when he was first popping, like y'all decide to go on there.
Y'all asked him.
Y'all
not-
ask these opinions.
Yeah, he's not one of these people like we see like on YouTube or TikTok that are like outside the clubs and like harassing people.
Yeah.
It's like no, he has his own show.
Y'all
people
type to
call
the Zoom
in.
link, all of that. Like
Yeah,
How many steps you take?
a lot. But yeah, to see like the kind of like worship ceremony over his death was kind of
Yeah.
like
That's just
weird.
terrible.
and then the crazy thing is today on Facebook because you know like people have been posting his clips. They posted one where he's talking to a dude, and the dude's like, I guess he was like 5'10", he weighed like 300 pounds, and and Kevin Samuels was going in.
Yeah.
He's like, all right, how tall are you? And it was like 5'10". He's like, and how much you weigh? And he's like, I don't know, like 290, something like that, whatever. And he's like, all right, so you're a fat fuck. and then he was like, how much do you make? And he's like $400 every 2 weeks or something, because I think he was like 19 or something.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And he was like, all right, so you make $800 a month. You're fat. You're not the tallest guy in the world. And then he's like, you got a big dick?
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that one. Yeah.
And then the dude was like, well, I don't know. And he's like, all right, so you don't? And he was like killing him,
He
right?
was. I remember that. Yeah.
And then women in the comments were like, oh, he attacked men too? Because I guess he started off more with the men, and then he veered into women as well. But like people are finding the ones with men, so now the women are like, oh, maybe he wasn't that bad. And then it's like, okay, it's
Women
like,
going women.
My thing with the whole thing with Kevin Samuels, like we said, you chose to go and view his content.
Yeah.
You may not agree. I didn't agree with everything the man said, but at the same time, I also knew how to ignore what he said. Like, the stuff was going viral, I would just scroll past it. If I didn't want to hear what he had to say, I would scroll past it. But that don't mean to speak ill of the dead. You're not going to sit there and have a whole parade because he died. It wasn't even like, it'd be different if he was like some type of cult leader or something like that. Man's just would go on Zoom, give his opinion, go on IG Live, whatever, give his opinion on whatever you come to him about. And if you didn't like it, then it was like, oh, well, like, you paid. Like, so the whole, like, I don't know, man. That whole thing was just like weird. Yeah. And I get that some of the stuff he may have said, people may have taken it as toxic or it was giving out a bad image. Fine. But then to continue the circle of life and continue spewing hatred on a dead man, now how do you look? You like
you celebrating death in the first place is just ridiculous. Like, that's a human being at the end of the day. Yeah. You're not glorifying that. But
that didn't do anything like personally to anybody.
But that's the thing is when you want to be offended, you look for the offensive stuff.
This is true.
If I'm going to look through my phone and look up all the whole man, I want somebody to insult me. I'm going to look past the I love black people. I love black people. I love this guy's talking about black people. He hates, but I missed 100 comments that was pro-black.
It's like when G-Baby types in, I hate Nas on Twitter to see who hates Nas.
Would have never put them letters together.
Just to see who hates Nas on Twitter.
See who hates it.
Just blocks. I don't need that negativity. Yo, Elon.
Speaking of which, what do y'all think about Elon buying Twitter?
He's a super, 44 billion, 48 billion, something crazy like that.
Just was like, I'm going to just do it.
And I've seen people be like, oh, he could have fixed world hunger with that money. But it's like,
he didn't.
I remember one time he asked the dude on Twitter, he's like, all right, give me a plan and like promise you follow through, or not even promise, but like, let's make some way where I can see that you're actually using the money to stop world hunger.
United Nations or something, I think. They called him out.
And then they were just like, all right, we're not going to respond to this tweet.
They basically ghosted him. Yeah. It was like, bro, like, I don't know.
It's like, how is that cool? How is that a problem? But you spending $377 trillion on the military. I don't see how that's chump change compared to the military.
Like, nigga, the internet isn't real. Like, y'all mad that he bought an idea.
You know what it is he bought speech. Twitter is how everybody communicates.
Twitter is the heart of free speech.
That's speech. So if you bring freedom to it, that means what is that? That's everything. Yeah. If I feel like posting this, I can.
But even with him buying the property, he still can't prevent free speech. You feel me? It's one of those, like, because everybody wanted to talk about may bring, like, we were joking, he may bring Trump back on or whatnot. Right. But it's like, even with everything that happened, it's like, for people to, like, it was legit people up in arms that he spent his money on Twitter. And I don't really care about billionaires doing billionaire stuff. And I'm always a big fan of not telling people what to do with their money.
Kylie's a billionaire.
Yeah. Remember that? Yeah. So it's just kind of like, how are you going to get mad at him for deciding this is what he want to do? Yeah. And like you said, well, okay, if y'all got a plan of action, let me know something. I'll drop the change. They just do.
And
like, come on, bro.
Yeah, I mean, the memes are funny and stuff, but like, just because he owns Twitter doesn't mean he can just do as he please. Like, there's still a board of directors.
They act like he just got like his finger over the button.
He's just the majority.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's the thing where if they be like, nah, 50 people agree, no. Well, 51 people say yes. And I'm a 51, and I get the majority. That's what that is.
I'm basically 51 by myself. Right. But, you know, this is a formality.
Pretty much.
I mean,
rich people
are killing them. I hope he puts the cocaine back in coke as he stated.
Pusha T is excited.
Pusha T gonna be out of job. Everybody gonna have coke wires at that point.
What did y'all think of his album?
It was pretty good.
I thought it was solid.
I enjoyed it.
It was.
Go ahead.
It wasn't bad.
We here now. We here.
No, it was just I felt like it was a little under kind of whelming. Like, I'm not saying it was a bad album, but I feel like the engine that was behind it, and like you had this Kanye, you had this,
and
Pharrell, and it was just kind of like.
Was it just Pharrell? Or was it the other Neptune as well?
I think it was the other.
I forgot.
I think it was just Pharrell.
I
think it was just Pharrell because he also released a cut where it divides in half all the ones Ye produced and then all the ones Pharrell. He said specifically Pharrell. So I think it was. I don't think it was Nerd. I think it was just.
You know what I think it is?
Or Neptunes. I'm sorry, not Nerd.
I think it was like baseline. Like you getting bass Kanye production and bass Pharrell. Like, I feel like they could have went above and beyond. We've heard both of them go ridiculously above and beyond the status quo. This one just kind of seems like, I'ma just push.
Yeah.
It's not gonna sound bad
Yeah.
because it's Kanye and Pharrell. But I've heard better Kanye and Pharrell produce.
So what I heard was originally it was just Kanye, and the album was not done but almost done. And Pharrell heard it, and Pharrell told Pusha T, "Do you want to be like a big rapper, or do you just want to be a mixtape rapper?" Because apparently Kanye just like gives him beats, and he's like, "Dog, just rap over it. You like rap amazing. People love that."
Right.
But Pharrell, if you listen to the Pharrell songs, they got more hooks, they got bridges. They got like melodies and stuff.
Yeah.
So like Pharrell wanted to make more of a songy song, like I could listen to a radio type album.
I think that makes sense though, because you would think, especially, and this isn't to discredit anything that Pusha has done in the past, but he is in his 40s, and he has, in my opinion, I think he's at his current peak for his lyrical, his talent. So it's like, why would you continue to do what you were doing 20 years ago? You should be making that turn to growing as an artist at this point in your career. Yeah, you're going to rap about the same stuff, but at the same time, you want to start to appeal to more people. Not saying he's going to necessarily go pop, but at the same time, you do want to show growth as an artist.
Yeah. But then it's institutionalized because it's like, I've been doing this for 20 years. That's all I know how to do.
That's true.
Yeah,
it happens.
Which is funny because I was listening to the radio, and I never listened to the radio, and they played Rock and Roll, the one with Cudi and Kanye.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, Pusha T Pharrell talking shit, and Kanye made the radio single, sir. So Kanye finally went back like, nah, he's dissing, he's sneaking. Get back, we're making this
Kanye
track.
bought the whole radio station. Was like, y'all gonna play this.
Wants radio hits, I got him a radio hit.
Well, since we're talking about music, another very current popular rapper has been under some fire recently, like within like the last 2 days, basically, over his his album that he put out, Jack Harlow. I've seen it's weird, like it's been a weird contrast. When I was on Twitter, maybe the week before his album came out, when it was basically just glam that was kind of blowing up over TikTok and everything, loving him, worshiping him, mostly women, but at the same time, a lot of dudes like Jack Harlow. He's cool.
He's a cool dude.
He's a cool dude.
He's funny,
and it was like his character, cool dude, funny, yada yada yada. Album drops because everybody was really excited when they heard the Drake leak. Okay, what's the whole tape gonna sound like? And then the album drops, and I've seen such a large contrast, but currently on my timeline is this is the worst album I've ever heard, which is like, whoa. Like, now I've said it in the group chat, I thought it was about a 7. I don't think it was trash. I don't think it was great. It was one of them things like a lot of people said, diet unseasoned Drake, which is like fair enough because
he diet unseasoned Drake.
He doesn't rap about like poverty or nothing woke or nothing. He raps luxury rapper. He raps Mr. Steal Your Girl type of rap. Yeah. Who perfected that? Drake. Yeah. You feel me? So it's kind of like I get the comparisons, and also a lot of his inflections were very similar to Drake. But considering I'm a big fan of Drake, that's why I didn't hate this. Yeah. I think that was my thing. But people were like, I'm talking like, you should never rap again. You need to just stick with acting or hanging out with Drewski. Like, stop doing. Like, I'm like, whoa. Like,
Lil Nas
take
X.
the features off on what's that album.
They said the fact that he had 4 legends and couldn't make that a hit album is telling.
Because if you take those 4 features off from your 7, what's it, a 5?
Probably. Like if those songs don't exist.
Those songs, if it's in the same songs but no features, you getting another Jack verse. Ooh, is that a 5? Is that a 6?
It might be a 6 because I think the song he did with Drake. I see a big thing with me, especially with the song he did with Drake. I really like that beat. It was heavy because you could tell because that Drake when he does like them like rant raps, it's very like sample heavy when he does those. So that was like I was already kind of like I was comfortable. And then when he did his, I'm like okay. Then when Drake did his, I personally really liked it. I was like wow, like okay, cool. But you do have a point. I feel like, but it's like it's weird to say that though because it's like they're on there. Yeah. So like you can't really subtract them because they are. And I didn't even you feel me? So it's kind of like But I would probably only give it a 7. I don't think it definitely wasn't the greatest thing since sliced bread, but it wasn't the worst thing put out within like that I've heard.
Yeah, it's not obviously not the, and we're probably gonna hear some songs like the Drake one's probably gonna get played in the club and whatnot.
It might just be his verse, but hey, it'll get played.
Yeah. People were calling it like mall music, and like
What you
just
say?
be
It's
generic.
Jimmy Jazz,
You said
man.
Jimmy
Jimmy
Jazz.
Jazz. You call it.
Let me
Jimmy
go ahead
Jazz.
and get the 3 for 40 joints like a Mac Miller. What's popping? Brand new whip. Just like, yo, yeah, this fresh for the 20 seconds I'm in this month.
Bro, so yeah, this is gonna be on the Lids playlist.
Yeah.
Right.
But I think people, I want to say, obviously Twitter's gonna Twitter,
Yes.
and they're gonna take it to the very extreme to calling it the worst album of all time.
Twitter has no medium.
Yeah,
They
it's
really
like
don't.
either
Has no
it's
middle.
it's amazing or it's the worst thing on it.
Yeah.
But and obviously, I think that paints it because people were calling him the next big thing. People were already like a week ago. I saw a post like I follow the Shade Room. They made a post where they were like, "Oh, is Jack Harlow better than Eminem already? Like a better white rapper?"
The Great White Hope.
You know
And
what?
it's
No,
like-
no. You know what? I remember that because
Yeah.
I remember for some reason I kept seeing a tweet that was listing like better white rappers than Jack Harlow, and I'm
Yeah.
looking like, why is this list even being like, why are we talking about this
Yeah.
right now? And they had like man. Anyway, go
It's
ahead.
the Great White Hope syndrome.
Go ahead. Talk
It's
about
like
it.
because you get the Eminem and you're like, oh man, this guy he's raw, he's rough. Black people accepted him, so he's solidified.
Mhm.
You got like you do the bare minimum. It's like the white girl rapping. Just because
That's another thing we have to add.
yeah,
on
we gotta
there.
add that white girl rapping.
Okay.
But just because you say gorgonzola instead of cheese or cheddar doesn't mean you not jizza with it.
Yeah.
You not. I'm tired of that. You hear Eminem all cheddar this feta and that, and then this nigga come in here. Oh yeah, I flipped the mozzarella. It's like you didn't invent the wheel here. We been knew about mozzarella. Like, and they be, oh man, nobody's ever flipped that before. But you know what I'm saying? It's the bare minimum. It's like ABC rhymes.
So white people aren't held up to the same standard musically, and at least in rap. I should
It's
say.
just no. It's just they get that platform.
Okay.
It'd be like
They
it
get
just
the
like
push.
go off the fight. Just say off the fights.
Yeah.
You'd be like Mike Tyson knocked out 75,000 people in a row. All right. Then this white boy comes out and knocks out 3 people in a drag out Rocky fight. I think this dude, he really got a shot at Ali and Tyson. I mean, we need to get that set. Like, no,
Yeah.
they're quick to do that.
Remember when
Like,
people were pushing Action Bronson on us?
Yes.
Heavy.
and he was gone until he said that stuff about Ghostface. And then Ghostface kind of shut him down. But it's just like you do the bare minimum. Like it's the ABC raps. Drake will this, that, and this leads to that.
Mhm.
And Jack Harlow will be like, I'm not an everyday man. I put my pants on backwards. It's like it's like, all right, I put mine on one leg at a time. You know, that's what
man.
everybody do. So he's right. It's a bar.
Yeah.
Because everybody put them on one leg at a time, but he put them on backwards.
Yeah.
So it's a
Crisscross,
bar,
Crisscross.
but it ain't. You see, it's double entendre. Is he better than Jay-Z? Are we
Oh,
gonna talk
man.
about? But it's just the bare minimum. Like you see, Eminem had to rap the first half of the dictionary for people to be like, "Oh man, he can." Like, what has Jack Harlow done? That who is he out rapping right now?
That's prominent.
That's just in the music industry right now. Who is he out rapping?
I don't see. I think that's what's tough because it's like I don't think he raps to rap better than anybody.
Yeah.
It's like you feel me. You like all right.
Oh,
for,
he does
for,
Post
for,
Malone.
for example, but see,
Because-
Post Malone is more pop now.
Yeah, but they're starting to try to push Jack into the pop category. I
You know
feel
where-
like.
If I put it like this, if I was Jack, I wouldn't. It's tough to say wouldn't let that happen, but I wouldn't let that happen because of the simple fact that every time people get tired, especially after like kind of Eminem's second half of his career kind of derailed a lot of stuff. Every time they try to push a white rapper and he or she gets into something that's like, this ain't as good, all of a sudden now they doing rock songs.
Yeah.
If I'm Jack, I'm like, okay, y'all wasn't rocking with this, cool. I'm back in the lab working on putting out better rap music. If you really feel like you're a rapper,
yeah.
you need to be rapping. You don't need to, don't MGK it. Okay, rap ain't doing it for me no more. Let me pick up a guitar and start painting my nails. You feel me?
Have you ever heard "Kids" by Mac Miller?
Yeah.
It was like, his first album. He's like 16 years old or whatever.
Yeah.
That's what this album sounds like, but he's 24 years old making
Yeah.
this. It sounds like the I Love College.
And that was in
I'm the
2010.
pretty boy. You see what I'm saying? It's like, I'm the pretty boy. I
Is
get the
Asher
girls.
Rothi?
Yeah, it's very Asher Rothi. So if he don't go off the luxury Drake rap, he's going to get into the sad bag. And he's going to be Mac Miller. And they're going to paint them pictures.
But you see, you know what's so...
Tell me he can't be the next Mac Miller off this album. But Mac could rap.
That's the problem because
Yeah.
of the fact that one, for a lot of people, Mac Miller's passing is still fresh.
Right.
So it's
Yeah.
like you can look up his every oh yeah, his Tiny Desk was the greatest Tiny Desk of all time,
Right.
greatest performance of all time. Which I'm not saying that it wasn't, but to say, oh yeah, he's gonna be the next Mac. Now you have people who will live and breathe a Mac Miller lyric
Right.
who refuse to love him.
Right.
And Jack, mind you, Jack not the one saying none of this.
No.
Right.
Literally all, and one thing I will, and I don't give white people a lot of credit on a lot of stuff, but one thing I will give Jack credit on is that he didn't come out on some, oh, I'm gonna be the next Drake,
Yeah.
or I'm gonna be the next this, that. He can't. I like to make
Yeah,
music.
he just
But
making
he's carrying
music.
himself like that, and that's the problem.
My thing is, but if this is how they're painting you and this is what's making money, why wouldn't you? So think about it. So the women start fawning over him. So then he gets on lives and stuff.
Right.
He's flirting with women. He's openly
Right.
openly flirtatious. That may not even be who he is as a person.
Right.
But this is the character that the media has formed for you. Now with the Drake thing, that's a little bit tougher to dodge because it's like you're not asking for this. But if they're gonna keep trying to throw you in that bag, okay, I'm gonna hit up Drizzy. See if you want to do this.
Yeah.
You feel
But
me?
see, but Jack knew, like Drizzy know how to maneuver the waters, and if Drake was still Jimmy from Degrassi for a little minute before he was
Yeah.
Drake.
Absolutely.
So it's like you paint yourself as this narrative, like I'm walking around doing this, and everybody falls in love with you, but it's the little stuff
Mm-hmm.
that if you weren't Jack Harlow famous, nobody would get, like the cameraman thing.
Yeah.
Oh,
There's no
yeah.
reason to film that.
Yeah.
He's getting
Unless
kicked,
you're
he's
Jack
getting
Harlow.
banned. If I did that, I'm getting banned.
Yeah.
for the
You see
rest
what
of
I'm
my
saying?
life.
That was definitely
But
corny,
you
and I
feel
was
me?
sitting there looking like, why?
Because
That
it's just
was like-
my brain. Because now, what if this guy
Yeah.
gets fired?
And then he was getting killed. No, it was a chick.
Yeah.
He was getting killed for it, but then the chick came out. I was like, oh no, it's
I
not
think
good
that's the
fun,
only
blah,
reason
blah,
it went
blah.
over. Like it kind of blew over the
Yeah,
way it
because
did.
it's who
If
he
she would have
was.
been like, "Oh, I got a talking to from my," if she would have just said, "Yeah, my manager hit me up about my calibrations being off."
Yeah.
Now it's like, see what you done did.
You don't film that if he's not famous. If that's regular Jack Harlow, him and his buddy sitting at that game
It doesn't
about
go viral.
nothing,
It don't go viral.
there's
Probably.
no reason to record it. Unless it's who's he gonna see? Your Snapchat homies, your Instagram store. But now I got a platform. I'm really an asshole.
Yeah.
It really takes a lot for you to go out your way. I've never done that.
No, I've never
I've
even
I've
thought
never
about.
seen.
You-
I've never
anyone do
seen. That's
that.
the first time I've ever seen somebody play with.
The
You have
closest
the
thing was
audacity
like
to do that.
Rodman kicking the camera guy.
Yeah, like
But that's a player.
yeah.
That's okay. I'm falling on you throughout the game. This nigga got nothing to do with nothing. You paid a ticket to watch a game. Why are you messing with the camera person?
Yeah.
That's their job. That's money in that.
ESPN on top
That's
of that.
ESPN.
Like, this is,
Yeah.
you
It's
playing with the
playoffs.
mouse.
You-
And it's
It was the
playoffs.
playoffs. It was
You
in
playing
the,
with the
you playing
mouse? Like,
around.
come on
it
now.
was in the Magic.
You playing
against
around.
the
That's
Hornets.
strike one. Then you getting carried around the Kentucky Derby.
Yeah, that was
What is
weird.
that?
Yeah, I don't know what
Now
that was.
you thought in your head, man, it'd be dope for these 4 black men to carry me into this horse race, notorious for black people
in Kentucky.
in Kentucky. You had 4 black people carry. It looks away. I can't just be tweaking.
No.
You see what I'm
No,
saying?
I saw it. Hey, I saw it. I was just like, damn. Bro.
That's not
I hate
what's
it had
hot.
to be you.
But like, how, like I brought up in like the text, like how far are the women gonna carry him? Is
Same
it
way
gonna
they-
be until he dates a white girl or just says something derogatory towards like black women?
I mean, be realistic. Think about how long it took white women to stop messing with the baby.
That's true.
He had to kill like 4 people for them to be like, all right, he
His
probably
white
not.
is different. It's 'cause
No,
you
but I'm
all-
saying, no, he's asking. But
Yeah.
I'm saying, you see how far they went for him.
Yeah.
And now, Jack Harlow, pretty boy with the beard and the earrings, and he got the soft sounding voice when he rap. He's like the white LL Cool J for them. So it's one of them things where it's like, he ain't did nothing blatantly racist. It's just like, okay, you don't rock with his music. Okay, that's fine. But he's still attractive to me. That's how it'll go over.
Yeah.
You feel me? So it's like, unless he all of a sudden really got like how Benzino found that Eminem song,
Yeah.
unless he got that,
Yeah.
I hate black women. This is why.
Yeah.
Unless he has that in the tuck somewhere that we
Yeah.
don't know about, or a Justin Bieber type video, like
Yeah.
the watermelon jokes and all of that.
But even the Bees, like everybody still loves him, so I guess.
Because
But
he
you see what
he
he
leaked
did.
that on his own. He was
Yeah.
like, they trying to blackmail me. This is something stupid I did when I was 15, 16 years old.
Yeah.
Here it is. I'm sorry. He took his lashings ahead of time.
Right.
Yeah.
So
true.
now you already know, because all of a sudden, for whatever reason, everybody hates this album. You already know the Twitterverse is going through his tweets, trying to find anything
Yeah.
N-word related from 09 to just like what they did with the white girl. They
Ah.
I told
Shout
y'all
out.
what was gonna happen. The moment, because I had seen the video before, the one with she was holding the Bud Light that went viral,
Yeah.
and she was
No,
rapping.
the one that with King Von.
Yeah, and I was
Yeah.
just like, oh, okay. But I knew niggas was gonna blow that up because it doesn't take much. For whatever reason, black folks accept the bare minimum when it comes to white people being able to do anything seeming to have a rhythm. And so I was just like, all right, well, we know what's coming. Then another video dropped, and then somebody tweeted, and they was like, they was waiting for her to say nigga, and then they was like, damn, baby did not say nigga in this whole verse.
Yeah.
And they was like, all
I
right,
was
just
sure
wait.
watching.
I was watching. I was sitting there like, they was like, dang, baby ain't said that at all. So they just sitting there just like, just wait for it because something is going to happen. She's sitting there. She started doing cameos.
Yeah.
She got on her IG, was like, okay, what song y'all want me to do next? She made this a career.
Yeah.
2 days.
For all of 2 days. And Black Twitter was like, enough of this. You got to go. And first of all, to get canceled over calling a bobcat a nigga. Like of all the things, like
Bobcat.
like you had the chance to use the N-word.
Yeah.
And you wasted on a bobcat?
And you waste out coon. Like, come on, if you gonna go for the gusto,
Like,
go for the
come
gusto.
on,
Drop
man.
the ER, man. Stop playing.
Let's go. Make fun of Donald Glover or something. You can't
Something.
sit there. You can't use it on. You can't waste it on a bobcat.
Yeah, that was
Like,
a
if you
waste.
get the
That
one,
was
if you
wild.
get the one nigga, if you get one, you gotta use it on something
You gonna
good.
die on that hill.
You better come at Obama or something.
Good hill.
Why not?
Yeah, you can't hit a cat and then call. Like, come on,
Something make the Republicans back you up.
come on, man.
At least.
Because you know she was gonna be at the damn Trump rallies.
Oh man,
And the one thing is too is you like, yeah, it's dope. They caught her at this exact moment with this exact verse, right? All the little baby songs you played, and he stops at the one verse that don't got the N word.
Yeah.
It's a lot of coincidence. That's all I'm saying.
She was like, yeah, I'm about to cash in on this.
I gotta rewatch the video to see if there was actual like party going on in the background.
It was a wedding.
Yeah, it was a wedding.
But I'm no, if people were just standing around and it's these two idiots turning up
Yeah.
trying to film a TikTok,
I don't know,
or if
man.
it was actual. Like,
But it's crazy how she's the one who went viral. It's because she blonde hair, blue eyed. Because the other chick knew
You
every
know
word
the answer
too.
to these questions.
I
Yeah.
just
Dude, you know the answer to these questions,
I like making
bro.
engagement.
For example, that TikTok chick that you putting out, I've actually seen her videos before, but that golfer, the caddy girl.
Oh yeah,
that-
yeah.
She went viral. She was already viral, but she went like super viral on Cinco de Mayo just for buying tequila and
Yeah.
offering it to the guests. I know why the reason for Cinco.
Yeah, 'cause
you
she
can
gave,
Wikipedia it.
bro,
She
the-
gave a Wikipedia reason for why Cinco de Mayo
the
is what
Mexicans
it
are
is.
going
Come
crazy.
on, bro. And I thought I saw you. In her comments,
Nah,
it wasn't you.
come on.
It wasn't you, but it was somebody that would
Rico-
say something you would say.
Rico is
Oh,
ready.
we love a woke queen. Is that not something you would say?
Jokingly, sarcastically.
I was sitting there like, bro, it's too easy for them.
Way
All
too
they gotta
easy.
do is just not be racist long enough to get it caught on tape.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
pretty much. You see, what was the little the shorty a couple years ago? I'm gonna fuck with you.
Oh, yeah.
Remember him?
Facts.
And to say less,
Oh, he invited to the cookout.
Oh yeah, the Say Less
Yeah.
dude.
Come on,
the
man.
Say
dude
less.
that I don't know if you guys. It's he went viral on TikTok too because he knew how to do the with the whoa and the flossing kid. Remember the flosser?
yeah.
The
He
backpack
was on.
kid?
He was in a Katy Perry video.
Bare minimum. This is the that's the title of this
Bare
episode.
minimum.
Bare minimum.
Even the chick who invented the Renegade, she was a black girl, and then Addison Rae and the D'Amelios were the ones who
they were
in the NBA All Star
man.
game performing halftime with J. Cole. Right?
Oh yeah, I remember that was a terrible. That was the first year they did the Kobe one, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
It's just one
That
of
was
them.
a good
It's just
one.
one of those like, bro, like y'all
Bare
just,
minimum.
Y'all be out here just us minorities. We gotta do better. I ain't got nothing against white people, but god dang, y'all
Yeah.
see them just two-step on accident, and y'all be ready to just give them a do-rag and call them Tyrone all of a sudden. Like they gotta earn certain things, man.
You gotta like do something.
You gotta do something
Like-
for us.
Like Bernie marched with Dr. King. It's in proof.
Like,
Like he can come to the cookout.
There's a tape.
This
pictures.
ain't- Like what Jack Harlow done did to act to this. He done hit some joints though.
And I ain't
gonna
got
lie.
nothing against Jack, but it be just like anything. Like it'll be somebody just be like, "Oh man, this Dirk song is pretty good." Oh yeah, you invited to just because
Oh,
he
man.
bobbed his head.
Oh man, when Crazy Story came out, all the white women, that's the way it go. I'm like, oh man, get up out of here. That wasn't even Crazy Story. But anyway.
It's just like, bro, like And then y'all with the Kanye and Saudi, y'all really invite
No,
everybody.
man.
Y'all, man.
Thank LeBron James for ruining tacos. You remember Pepe's over there on Manhunt?
Yes, I do.
Tuesday and Thursdays, $1 tacos. $10 you get 10 tacos. This was like, we was working at Dick's Sporting Goods. 10 tacos. $20 you get 20 tacos.
Where's that now?
Man, they closed.
They
Because they
closed
show out. They wasn't getting my business no more. Like 10 tacos, I'm about 35. Excuse me? Hold on, you better drop a couple numbers off that, Joe. I ain't asked for no extra guac or no sour cream.
Man. So, like, they tell you add all of that.
That's LeBron. Soon Taco Tuesday. White folks lost their mind. Oh, man. He likes tacos.
We can market this. We can market this.
I used to work at a job at AT&T, and right next door they opened a store called Taco Cello. Okay. It was all white folks in there.
I believe it.
Running the store?
Running it, cooking the burritos, all type of stuff. I was, man. This stuff was no flavor. Less flavor than Chipotle.
Dang.
But Chipotle got some flavor, though. A little bit of flavor.
That's because they start adding more. They getting more Mexicans in the front office or something. They keep adding more and more Mexican-related spices. They got some. They specifically naming stuff after Mexican dishes. Like, hey, we've been talking. The Hispanics have let us know what we've been missing. Okay.
They had adobo wings at Buffalo Wild Wings before.
They just be.
I was like, damn, these salty as hell.
This is hypertension.
I'm like, damn. Just take 2 of these.
Where's my shot? I need a shot. You can only drink water with those. You got to even it out.
Only drink water. A gallon per wing.
Oh, man. Oh, that's hilarious.
I heard Future's album. That was a struggle fest to get through.
Was it?
Man.
I haven't listened to it
No,
yet.
I'm not gonna lie. I listened to it on the plane. I haven't listened to it since.
Wow.
Besides the Ye song.
The Ye song was straight.
See there, that's what
It was pretty good. I ain't gonna lie. On the second listen, I was like, okay. But yeah, the first one, I was like, hey, Future.
Was it a Kanye feature or was he just producing it?
Nah, it was a feature. He had 2 verses.
Because he had that was more like a bridge.
Well, it was like a.
Because I thought that was gonna be like the hook. Because I was like, oh, that's a little catchy hook.
I'm gonna check it out then.
Just that song.
Yeah, I'm gonna check that song out.
Yeah, I didn't really. The Drake one was good. The one with Tim's.
Okay.
That
like
one was
that
good.
one.
I didn't like the other.
I didn't like the Amon one.
Yeah.
Ah, okay, fair enough. All right, let's talk about it, Zoo.
Tried to double dip.
Bad Bunny, Bad Bunny.
Album of the year, man.
He just broke the record for most single day
I saw you
streams.
sent that in.
187 million, I think.
Some
I
crazy.
contributed to that as well.
I did.
That was a great album.
It's a great album.
It sounds good. Like even you could throw it on and just listen to it, not
Uh-huh.
really know what's going on in the
Yeah.
album. It sounded really good.
Yeah,
see if
it's
I
called
find the number.
Un Verano Sin Ti, which means One Summer Without You.
Ooh.
So I knew the
Ooh.
sad boy vibes were
Wait,
coming
he had a
in.
double album about that? Ooh.
Yeah.
It was fire because I was jamming the whole time. Oh, yeah. I was doing a little.
Meanwhile, I'm over
salsa.
here dancing and crying at the same time.
Crazy.
It's what he does. That's his music. It's literally dance, but you're gonna be sad about it while you're dancing.
Yeah, Bad Bunny breaks Drake's record for artists with the most single day streams in Spotify history. 183 million. Shout out to Bad Bunny.
Shout out him.
Yeah.
That's
Puerto
not-
Rico's finest.
Double disc, an hour 20 minutes, but I
not a
really,
bad
really
listen,
enjoyed it.
though.
That's
It kind of went vibes because they
Yeah.
all flow together.
Mhm.
It's like just sound like long conversation.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I don't know how long he's had this like thinking
Didn't
about
talk.
it or whatever. Because the last song on the album, that song came out like 2018, I want to say.
Oh, wow.
So it was just.
So I don't know if he just like listened to that song one day and was like, "Hey, it'd be dope if I make an album out of," because that album's like beach vibes or whatever,
Yeah.
similar to this or anything like that. But yeah,
Were these tracks that he played on tour at the concert, or were these
No.
like all new songs?
no, these are all new.
Wow, to come off of a tour with an album, that's
Yeah.
nuts.
And to be
Yeah, because
wrestling
it just
and shit.
ended a month and a half ago.
To
I
come
think?
off of a tour with a double
So he
album.
was working on
is
it. I'm
Yeah,
pretty
man,
sure.
he's going on
Very
tour
true.
again in August.
Yeah,
Damn.
Can't stop, won't
He's
stop.
back, but this time's in Soldier Field.
Oh, he finna act a fool.
Yeah, now he's like, I did the little arena, your little basketball arena. Now we doing football stadium.
Yeah, I can see that from the gig. I would be.
Man, that's crazy. But man, shout out to Bad Bunny.
Shout out him. I like the last one.
They
too.
said Americans are so in their own bubble that people were confused, not confused like angry, but just like, wait, what did I read when they found out he beat it? And Ebe who's an executive on Dreamville, he was like, this is the biggest artist in the world.
Yeah.
Like, y'all need to recognize,
Yeah.
like,
'Cause people forget like Spanish is the second largest language in the world.
and it's probably more, y'all probably more spread out than we are, than
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
English speakers are,
Yeah.
like within, and
Everybody
then
speaks it.
yeah, and then now everybody's starting to actually get out of their own comfort zone and listen to something that's not in English or watch something that's not in English. So it's not surprising
Yeah.
that it's spreading the way it's spreading. And That's nuts though. That's crazy.
But you can't go nowhere without hearing Bad Bunny.
Not
I don't
at
care
all.
where you at. Like you gonna hear something.
Absolutely.
You know, it's just that music. Either half the people don't understand and like it,
It's the
or the
feeling.
other people like it
Yeah.
and they understand it.
Because it's gonna play in the club.
Bars,
Oh,
all of
100%.
that.
All of that. It don't even matter.
Yeah.
And white girl, oh, this is my jam. Don't know
The
what.
exotic music they call it.
Yeah. that be that bro. Calling like stuff that's not English exotic is by far like I think the most backhanded compliment you can give somebody.
boring.
Exotic, like I'm just talking. Like what are we doing?
And
here?
he's Puerto Rican. He's American.
Like, he's a-
Oh yeah, no.
They forget that so much.
They just really do. Like
Yeah.
we are a part of y'all.
Like hello.
Yeah.
But anyway, man, shout out to Bad Bunny.
Shout out to Bad Bunny.
Shout out all the new music.
I'm excited to see obviously with Kendrick and whatnot. Do y'all think it's gonna be a double disc with Kendrick?
I kind of hope not. I hope if it is, I hope he releases now and then like another one later. I don't think
You don't want 30 songs of
I don't think I
Kung Fu
got
Kenny?
30 of Kung Fu Kenny
Oh.
on a comeback.
Dang.
Off of Damn, I don't know if I got 30 for Kenny.
I was talking with
I need 20. He's been gone for 5 years.
I need at least 15.
I was talking with an old teammate about this. He was asking like, what did I think if it was gonna be a double disc? And what I said was, you don't know when this was supposed to come out because with COVID pushing everything back.
Yeah.
So it could be like I had these in the tuck
Yeah.
ready, and then COVID shut everything, so it didn't make no sense.
Yeah.
Then I had all this time, so I went back in the lab. We don't know, but at the same time, it's like it has been 5 years. So I don't think I would be upset with him kind of saturating the market right now because it's like it has been 5 years.
If it's a double album, I want to hear brand new stuff and then Untitled Remastered Part 2.
You think so?
Not Untitled Remastered,
Yeah.
but whatever you was working
the
on in the
B-sides?
tub. Yeah, give me the B-sides.
Hmm.
Because his B-sides are probably going to be,
Pretty,
if the good side, if the A side
Yeah.
is pretty good. I still just want to know what it's going to be sound like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the thing that's scaring me. I don't know what it's
We're
going to
what,
sound
5 days
like.
away, 6 days away?
As of today,
Weekend.
today's the 8th.
It comes
so
out on the
5,
15th, right?
13th.
13th. That's that Friday?
Yes.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Ooh.
Also, since it is officially the next day, Happy Mother's Day to all the
Ah,
beautiful
Happy
mothers
Mother's
out
Day.
there.
Happy Mother's Day.
Hug your mother, let your mother know that you love her.
This is 1 a.m., people.
Definitely. But yeah, I'm, and I don't want to dig too deep on because we did a whole thing about him. But the closer we get to it, I am a little nervous because it's like you have been out of it. Like I don't think that talent goes away, but it's just kind of like, what does the sound like?
It can't be a
sonically?
fly. It's like Detox at this point. You can't put it out and be bad.
Yeah.
That's
I
why
don't-
Drake. I mean, that's
yeah.
why Dre never put out Detox.
It wasn't gonna age.
Yeah.
Because it's like, yeah, you've been promising this since 1904.
Yeah, pretty much. So y'all sound doggy dog.
So it's kind of weird. And like with Kendrick, like his music has been so good. And then, do you think like one flop will hurt him? Like,
Nah.
It doesn't ruin
like to the point like where it's like, all right, J. Cole is better than you.
Okay, so let me answer this.
Oh, look at you.
Because
He's ready to rant.
Yeah, I know. Let me get this out because I've answered this question a few times on Twitter, and they've said like because everybody kind of put Drake in his own kind of like lane because like he does something that's a little bit different for both of them. So they always say like, okay, between Cole and Kenny, who you going with? I'm like, this is like you gotta go with recency bias a little bit because it's like he's followed the 2-year formula.
Yeah.
Like every 2 years he's put something out, and you know some stuff you may like, some stuff you may not, but you can make an argument that his stuff has improved or at the very least stayed at his level.
And he's at features and
And
stuff.
his feature run is probably
Probably one of the best.
second to Andre.
Yeah.
Like you like how do you feel about it? He's had one of the greatest like kind of recent runs as a hip hop artist. And then it's just kind of like Kendrick, hey, you have been going for 5 years.
Yeah.
Like, and it's not a knock to you. You have every right to take however much time you want. But it's like, this is what I've been listening to because this is what's been available.
You're right. I mean, he's stacking up numbers at one point. I know we don't like to talk about numbers, but niggas sell Diamond Records.
Multiple times.
It's like, hey, where your ass at? Like, you got a little album in the library, but hey, these numbers talk.
Like we was at the
Yeah.
concert.
Yeah.
Like you felt that. Like it
Yeah.
was one of them like this is the greatest experience of my life.
Yeah.
Type of deal. So it's kind of like
And that's the thing, Kendrick too. You can't really. He doesn't have that like party vibe. Cause you can't. I mean, cause even you like, what his most poppy album you would say is probably To Pimp a Butterfly. It's got the best sound, but that's so revolutionary that you can't just. be in the crowd and white folks just
man,
get off to
you
it.
Gonna come out with a beret.
You know what I'm saying?
They got the berets under the seats, just ready to go. They come out looking like a Black Panther.
You know, it's just kind of hard to get down with that when he's talking about black of the berry, sweet of the juice, and all these white folks just in the crowd. You know, you can't really party like that.
I don't know.
Kendrick.
I'm very curious to see what that comes out with. But we got to get serious for 2 seconds. With the whole Roe v. Wade situation. It's a scary time.
Very scary.
It's one of those things where, as a man, I can only give so much of my opinion, and basically just give my support and kind of leave it at that. But this is one of the many times when I definitely agree with women. And it's like it's too many men would say over what women can do with their bodies, because at this point, and it's so weird because it's like, nigga, I didn't submit myself to the army. Like, why is my body a property of the United States government?
Yeah,
you feel me? And it's like everybody wants to. So as y'all know, I am a Christian. So as this country was so-called founded on Christian ideals, they twisted it to work to their favor or whatever. But the whole thing is that people believe that in Christianity that abortion is supposed to be like murder and whatever. God wouldn't want that. I ain't never heard God say that. I have my own personal views on abortion, but at the same time, I also have the view that I'm not the one having the baby, so I can't tell this woman what to do. And then the issue is there's no middle ground with apparently how they talking about voting. It's like all or nothing.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if it was trigger warning, sexual assault. Doesn't matter if the baby could end up killing you. Like, it's no, from what they're saying right now, they may change, but from what I'm hearing, there's no middle ground. And now you're opening up the floodgates for so many dangerous forms of termination now, like this was back in the 50s.
Right.
And this is one of them things where it's like, they're right.
The price and hangers are gonna
skyrocket. It's gonna get dangerous type of deal, and they're right. All these old white men who probably won't be here long enough to even see this go into effect don't need to have all of this say so over women's bodies. And you were asking kind of like what the feedback, what the fallout would be. And from the research I've done, and for what's kind of been told to me, because my wife's been talking about it a lot, is that it can set the precedence for everything else that was kind of placed upon this whole Roe v. Wade, like right to privacy and right to your body and everything. Talking about even back to like interracial marriages. Now, you can't, and I don't think they'll rescind that, but at the same time, you can't be hypocritical. You can't be openly hypocritical and say, oh, well, your right to privacy allows you to marry who you want to marry, but you can't do with your body what you want to do. Yeah. I'm literally doing with my body what I want to do if I decide to marry whoever I decide to marry.
Yeah. And it's one of those things where it really only affects the woman who's doing it. And
it's only men talking about this. Like, that's a problem,
it's
bro.
because they waited till Ruth Bader Ginsburg died. Because they wasn't talking none of this when she was like, she was the one person that was women's bodies, women's choice. You ain't got no say. When she passed, that's when they want to, now women, this, that, and the other. I don't know if it's a form of like population control or something, just because of the COVID and all the people we lost, plus nobody's making babies for fear of COVID, and I don't want to bring my kids up in it. But that's, like I said, I grew up saying Catholic Christian, but I'm pro-choice, but that don't matter at all. Yeah. Because I ain't having a baby.
You're not having a kid.
So, whatever you feel like you want to do, that's you.
Especially if you can't pop one out, it really don't matter at the end of the day. So for you to be the one to be able to say, like, because my thing is, this is how I personally feel, is that unless you and your partner are the ones that are having the baby, as a man, you shouldn't really care what happens with what anybody else does decide to do what they like. Why do it matter that much? Yeah, that's how I feel personally.
I literally just found out either, I think it was yesterday, maybe the day before, that I don't know the proper name of the procedure, but like when women get their tubes tied, they need their husband's permission.
Yeah, that's still a thing.
They need to have already had kids. So like if you're 25 years old and you're like, I never want to have kids, and I don't even have a husband, it's like, oh, you can't get it because what if one day you want kids and one day you get a husband and he wants kids, and it's like, what does that have to do with it?
I had a cousin that did that. She had a baby, had her tubes tied. And then I guess whatever her new husband or whatever, she was like, oh, I want a baby. So she got him undone, had a baby with him, and then got him retired again. She was pretty messed up for like a minute. Like
her body trying to recover.
Her body trying to recover because it's like I think they burn it.
You going in there
and you gotta cut it, burn it to seal it, and you gotta cut it and reattach. It's like a lot. I can imagine. And then to have a pregnancy, that's crazy.
Like,
you know, that's nuts.
So it's what and it's not to be funny, but it's one of those things where it's just like, what is wrong with y'all? Because one thing, and I think one thing that annoys me as somebody who is a man of faith and believes, is that people have always they want to throw God in everywhere, and then you gotta be realistic. Don't everybody believe in God? Everybody has their own, which is like, hey, your decision, teach his own. Yeah. But one thing that bothers me is that people always, but what if you are aborting the next doctor or the next cancer solver or not? And this is how, and they always want to throw God with that. And this is how I personally feel. If you believe God in all of His infinite wisdom would give the founder of the cancer cure to somebody who would abort said baby, you don't got enough faith in God to think that, like, that he don't got that foresight to be like, okay, she ain't gonna want this baby. I'm gonna just get a cancer solver to somebody who may want one. Like, come on, bro. Like, y'all just, it's just one of those things.
And then even then, it's like, what if that kid goes up to be like a serial killer or something insane?
Like,
it's a school shooter.
Life's a risk.
It's really
it's a risk.
Like,
you don't know.
Like, you never know. And so to sit there and to say that you, as an old white man or old whatever, because I think it's a black dude on the thing too, to just be like, we believe that you women need to be giving out these babies. Some people do believe, you know, you get your conspiracy theorists and your koofies. They think it's a way to also population control minorities, and they think it is a lot to do with the people we've lost during COVID. But how the heck are you gonna cry overpopulation and at the same time force all these people to have kids?
Yeah, that's the thing. It can't be underpopulation because we run out of resources.
Yeah.
So we actually, you know, it's just, oh man, it's crazy because you got to bring God into everything, but it's like people pick and choose. Yeah. And it's just like
they pick and choose when it's comfortable to them.
Because it is like, isn't it like a separation of like the state and the
church?
It's
supposed to be. And I don't know how. I mean, everybody got their own feelings about that, but it was one of those things where you can't. And this is one of my biggest. This is one of my biggest pet peeves with old school church people. Anyway, is that they pick and choose when to follow the word and when to follow whatever the Bible says. It's like, and the government does the same thing. So everything else that you guys have claimed or have went along with and whatnot, but all of a sudden, oh well, you know, we were found. This country was founded on biblical principles, so now we gotta abide by it. It's like, nah, nigga, you either with it or you're not. You can't sit here and do it when it appeals to you. And then it's like, what is even the appeal? Like, what this woman does have to do with y'all personally? And like I said, I'm a big fan of minding your own business. As long as me and mine have an agreement on what to do with our child or the fetus or whatever, it don't matter what nobody else got to say. I would understand if it was one of those things like, because I'm married, so I can give my example, I guess. If B gets pregnant and something goes down, and it's like, look, this fetus is killing her. Kill that little nigga. Whatever. And I'm not about to hit, oh, well, you never know. No, nigga, I know I want my wife here.
I can make another one.
I can make another one. Like, I'm not
not to sound bogus.
No, forget. I get, but it's still one of them things like, nigga, you're not going to sit here and try to guilt trip me into putting my wife through all of this for 9 months. No. Yeah. No. So it's just like, it's so annoying because it's like, as I've gotten older, you learn to realize, like, what women really do go through. Yeah. And how, like, yes, as black people, we are behind the 8 ball, but women are also really behind the 8 ball, especially women of color.
The table yet? They ain't even got to turn at the table.
It's just like,
being behind the 8 ball.
It's like, bro,
and it's like people are like, oh, you could just put it for adoption. It's like, and then you don't let people adopt anybody. Like, you guys wouldn't let gay people adopt kids, and
then the adoption thing is so terrible. Yeah. Like, it's like, what do you want us to do?
If the baby isn't fresh out the womb, they don't want it. Yeah. And then there were women. Somebody was interviewing. I think he trolls people for a living. I think, but he was outside of like people protesting. They were like counter protesting because people saying my body, my choice, and there was people saying adoption is the choice. Mm-hmm. So he asked them. He was like, have you adopted? Oh no, I wasn't allowed to. Okay, have you adopted? No, I had 2 of my own. Have you adopted? Oh no, I had 2 of my own. Whatever. It's like, so everybody that's screaming adoption has not adopted.
Yeah.
Everybody's so pro-choice. Everybody's so, well, you can, because I was like that when I was growing up. I'm like, well, you can just get a kid up for it. I'm not knowing nothing. I'm like, you can just get a kid up for adoption. Until I got older and realized, nigga, adoption don't mean you gonna go to a family, let alone a loving family.
Yeah.
On top of that, because there are people who just adopt
There's a
for
lot
the
of
money.
sickos out there.
Or so it's like
foster homes and stuff. Like a lot of people, because you get paid if you're a foster parent. So a lot of people are just like, yeah, give me all these little kids so I could get my $1,000 check a month or whatever, how much they get.
You got 12 kids in one house sharing 2 bedrooms.
Yeah.
Then you cry about poverty. Oh man, all these people, we can't afford them. Well, you giving people who can't afford kids, you giving them 2 kids that they were trying not to support because they know that they're gonna grow up in poverty and struggle and probably have to resort to crime. I'm trying to avoid that. Stop. I'm trying to take a killer out this world, a possible killer out this world. But you're forcing that. But then you wanna all these kids getting ran. You making me have these kids.
Like, what if you were aborted? Nigga, I would have been aborted. I wouldn't have had
no
an
choice
opinion
in that.
on this whole topic.
How am I supposed to answer that
What
question?
type of question is that? What if your mom would have gave up on you? Well, nigga, I wouldn't be
talking
here.
to you.
I wouldn't be talking to you hearing you ask this stupid question. Like, come on, bro.
Yeah. And it's like I guess it feeds into this little transit. Did you guys see what Young Thug said?
No, what you said?
Oh, broke
people shouldn't.
kids.
Yeah, like broke people shouldn't be able to have sex. Because
that is the thing. Is because broke
I've heard
people,
that. They don't like using condoms.
Broke people, they gonna do 2 things. They gonna sleep and they gonna have sex. I've never seen 2 unemployed people without a kid. You see what I'm saying?
No, you got a point.
Yeah,
and it's one of those things where and it sounds harsh, and I don't agree like with I guess the way it's said, but I understand what he's saying. It's like y'all 2 know y'all can't afford a kid.
Yeah.
Whether y'all want to admit it or not, you know you can't afford a kid, but you just refuse to use contraception.
It's like when you make that decision to have sex, anytime, I don't care, you have to be prepared that this is the one she's gonna get pregnant off of this. You have to treat every encounter like that.
It's that 0.1%.
So if you wanna, cut that 0.1 into half, wear a condom.
Yeah.
It's that simple. You're still taking the risk, but it's a less calculated. It's a more calculated risk. At least I'm going in there well educated that if it's meant to be, it was meant to be.
Yeah.
Condom, Plan B.
I'm not just rolling the dice.
Birth control pills.
Niggas be just so like, and like I said, it sounds harsh, but he got a point in certain aspects. It's like people, because everybody want to know, oh well, why isn't everybody getting married, or why people aren't having kids? Like, because they can't afford it.
Yeah.
Y'all have pushed the cost of living up so high that I refuse to bring another life into this world that I can't support right now.
How many arguments you done seen in TV shows and just in real life, people where it's like the woman tells the husband, "I'm pregnant. We can't afford it." Oh well, I want to keep it. I love it. Well, I'm finna dip. Who's at fault? Nobody. I told you we couldn't afford it.
Yeah.
I'm not finna struggle to afford it. I can't give it a life. Why am I even gonna be here? I can't even give it So you forcing this on me, knowing it's gonna break us. That's not right. But then it's the dad's fault for bouncing.
And then that's another.
You see what I'm saying?
That's also another thing that they're not addressing within this situation is because, and I'm all for it. I'm with the whole child support thing. That's
just a different
subject. But at the same time, you're forcing these women who are with people that they probably wouldn't want to be want to be the father of the kid, or the dude don't want to be the father of this kid to have this baby. So now not only are they attached forever, but now you're potentially making more single mothers because it's more dudes that don't want to have these kids.
And now the kids are growing up messed up.
How come you don't love me, man? Like this, you got more of these.
Or the dads and the dad probably resents them, like treats them like shit.
So it's one of those. It's one of those like I would have gotten rid of you if it wasn't for the government. Like if the Supreme Court Supreme Court didn't own your mama pussy, you wouldn't be here. That's like
it's crazy.
And some people believe that's the grand scheme is to make more single mothers in the minority households. Because you're going to get more and more people, oh, shoot, we can't afford no baby.
But then
I can't get rid of it. Well, you're going to have to figure something out because I'm not staying.
It's going to get to that point when it's either going to be the white woman or the dog. That the dog's going to have to get an abortion, and that's what's going to get shit. I'm telling you, that's what it is.
Wait.
It's either going to be a white woman that's going to really have to, like, I need to, and or it's my life, and this, or it's going to be a dog that's pregnant and is going to die unless they abort this litter. and then people are actually gonna care. Tell me I'm lying. Tell me I'm lying.
Well, I don't know about the
I
white
never
women
thought
because they're also part of it.
But I'm just saying it's gonna be
If-
that one
If it's gonna be a blue-eyed white, a blue-eyed
That's gonna-
blonde-haired white woman.
that's gonna come up there with a little bomb. I still got 2 days with a bomb strapped to my chest. I'm gonna do. It's either gonna be that or the dog. Cause that's the thing. The only thing people seem to care about is white women and dogs. So I mean, hey, it is what it is.
Y'all rules, not ours.
Y'all made this. Y'all set the tone with Vic. And we know what it is. We know what it is. I'm just playing my part.
Oh man, that is nuts.
But tell me I'm lying.
You're not. I don't think you're lying.
True.
That's wild though. Or it's gonna be some politician that done knocked some woman up,
Well,
and now she can't.
the bastard child.
Yeah.
I gotta get rid of it. It's
So-
illegal.
so
you
now-
made it illegal.
So now it's gonna be some light skinned
Yeah.
baby talking about you're my father. Like,
What's
Joe Biden-
Tristan Thompson gonna do?
well,
Jeez.
he got 900 kids on the way.
I can't get rid of him anyway. Might as well.
And then this girl I used to talk to in high school, she was a shout out her, but she was saying something about like even if a woman, she said a point like if a woman sleeps with 100 people,
Mhm.
she can only carry out one full pregnancy.
Yeah.
A man
Guy
can
can
have
have
100
kids.
babies. That's nuts.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
That's crazy.
Real
Strap it up,
completely
kids.
random. Y'all gonna take the birth control pill when it come out for men?
Depending on how active I am around the time it comes out.
And like Flintstone vitamins.
Like if I'm already settled down, I'm like, hell no. But if I'm still running wild, then maybe I might have to pop it.
You know, there was a time where I was scared to drink Mountain Dew because I believe the whole
Erectile
lower-
dysfunction.
Yeah,
It
It
No,
does.
trust me, it
It
does.
definitely-
Oh, it does?
That
Yeah.
and hot Cheetos.
And then the whole.
And they have a drink, flaming hot.
I saw that. Yo, a chick. Yo, one of my homegirls posted that on Snap. I was like,
It's a
that
real
sh-
thing.
got
That
it
should
at our
be
school
like
and-
illegal.
I don't know why.
Like they
you
gotta
would-
like whoever invented it is like a sociopath.
absolutely.
Like we have to check his like under his basement, under his floor space.
Because he just
He got
mixing stuff.
something.
That's
Yeah.
trying to make a bomb.
that is a, that is
That's
a monster.
insane.
He tried to build the Powerpuff Girls or something, and
Bro,
it just went horribly wrong.
Mountain Dew is already sugar and gasoline.
Mhm.
And then you adding flaming hots to that? Like, why?
We ain't gonna never be able to reproduce. You gotta worry about
Never.
abortion.
You don't just eat a bag of these and drink a shot of that. No kids for 9 months.
That's your plan B right there. That is nuts. But with the last few minutes we got, we want to talk about Doctor Strange movie. We got something else to talk about first. Oh, ESPN.
Oh yeah, the ESPN and Dave Chappelle. We got to talk about
ESPN. Oh my God, you're right.
that. Yeah.
We it's been
We can
2
skip to
weeks.
Doctor
in a while.
Strange, give some people some time.
Okay,
to watch it.
we'll give y'all
We'll
give
give
y'all
it a-
time.
we'll make it a
We should be
bonus
back on
episode.
Wednesday. We're gonna try to get back here on like the Wednesday, so maybe drop Thursday to get y'all something. We'll see.
Yeah.
Give
We'll,
y'all a little taste.
we'll discuss amongst the group.
It'll be a Doctor Strange prequel to Kendrick.
Yeah.
It'll be that.
So, excuse me. First, Dave Chappelle. Niggas is love running up on comedians now. This is just a thing we're doing.
That was a clean tackle.
He came down and Jamie Foxx and Busta
Ball
Rhymes.
Ah,
Well, I believe Busta Rhymes, but Jamie Foxx,
I was not expecting
I
Jamie
was not-
Foxx.
Oh, he
Yeah,
probably
he-
preparing for that Tyson role.
They had his arm on backwards.
That
He
was
broke both his
disgusting.
hands and dislocated. He was damn.
Yeah, and it was like, why?
yeah.
Like
It was like they didn't even get charges.
Because you ran on stage.
Supreme Court, I think didn't want to press charges. I forgot reading the whole thing, but it was like he clearly tried to attack this man.
Yeah.
And I think
Supposedly he had a gun or a knife.
It was a fake
Attached
gun
to a
and
gun.
knife.
was he a gay activist or something?
Probably.
There was this tweet that he said after the Will Smith Chris Rock thing, he tweeted, "Dave Chappelle, you're next. I'm standing up for my trans homies." But obviously, I mean, he probably had no followers at that point, so no one saw it.
Yeah.
And then I guess this happened, and people do their research, and he tweeted that.
Yep.
It's like it was funny to watch.
So if anything, Will Smith should get the charge.
Facts. He skipped it all out. Or conspiracy. It's funny because like you just watched him get beat up. So it's like, oh wow, so no, they really was just private security. Like
Yeah.
nobody interfered or nothing.
Nope.
Dave Chappelle didn't even know what to do. He went over there, then he came back, and then he ran back over there. And he's
Because it's like, what do you even do in that
Yeah.
situation? It's like
Like
you
bro,
either
just tried to tackle me. I still got a comedy show. Am
Yeah,
I
I-
gonna like beat you? Was I gonna beat you up, or am I gonna continue to perform?
like okay, what do the people want to see? That at that
Yeah.
point. But it's been weird because, excuse me, since the Will Smith incident, there's been like a string of activists just doing dumb stuff. If y'all don't know if y'all been how much y'all been paying attention to NBA basketball, but during the playoffs, fans is just running onto. Yes, just tried to glue herself to the court. Yeah. Another one, her homegirl was recording and she tried to run on the court. We don't know what she was trying to do, but it's just like, off the dribble. Oh boy was just he was just like, go ahead. I've been waiting.
He tackled her over the other fan.
Yeah, he jumped and was like, I got you. He came off like Ray Lewis. Or Troy Polamalu or something. I don't know. He said, sniper one, we got her.
They didn't even stop the game. He was, he got her on the
side. They was
going
to play around him. They was like, shoot, I'm open. But yeah, it's just like, what is going on with people? Like,
they get the heart to stand up for themselves.
I get it, but
that's how Will Smith still get the Oscar, and then be like, all right. And then with
no consequences to nothing.
Like this dude got his arms broken, obviously, but he's not getting anything charged against him. So if anything, I feel like it's gonna make more people like, all right, as long as I could fight.
If they beat me up bad enough, they ain't gonna press charges.
This is a terrible precedent.
Like you saw with the dude who was harassing Mike Tyson on the plane. He's the one pressing charges on Mike Tyson after he was like bothering him.
They said he was continuously harassing Mike, and Mike told him to stop like multiple times. And then even niggas was like, okay, if Mike done told you, he didn't gave you fair warning.
Yeah.
To like, hey, chill. And you want to keep, all right, hey, that's between you and God at that point.
The court always going to pick it up because it's the angry black man.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's weird. It's obviously like the whole, well, words can't hurt you, so if you touch them, like you're at fault. Because I know Charlemagne, that's his big thing when he used to be more instigaty on the radio, like with Birdman and like with Fredro Starr and all that. He was like, I don't care if like they beat me up, like that's fine, I'll just sue them. And it's like, all right, well now you're kind of like, that's whack. Yeah. But he's like, I don't care, I'm just a radio guy, I'm not a street tough guy.
That's kind of how Max Kellerman was before he really blew up. It was like, yeah, I'm gonna give my harsh opinion because like, what are you gonna do?
Yeah,
you gonna put your hands on me? All right.
Wish you would.
You caught on live TV putting your hands on me now.
Now they don't care.
They don't.
I can get on TV and I can get my ass whooped by a celebrity and get a lawsuit. That's an easy cash out.
I refuse to set myself up like that. Ain't no way. Ain't no way, boy. Ain't no way.
There's people throwing themselves in front of cars for $10,000
to protest. Yeah, just like, yeah.
You know how many times I'm walking downtown, I'm like, damn, I hope a Mercedes runs me over today.
I thought that. I'm like, man, like, what if he just veers over not paying attention? I'm finna cat. I see too many Teslas. One of y'all niggas gonna hit me by accident.
I just need to get clipped.
That's all. I'll do the rest.
I already walked messed up. They go, oh man, we really messed him up. Yep, you sure did.
My shoe gonna be just back there somewhere. I can't find my shoes.
I'm gonna break my arm.
But real quick, we gotta talk about ESPN. ESPN be just cooking the books, cooking the numbers, and just coming up with just like random stats. The most recent thing that brought this up was that today me and G Baby saw on Instagram, ESPN posted that Luka Doncic officially has the highest points per game average for a player since before Michael Jordan. His is 33.5, Mike is 33.4. And somebody, like, if you don't know sports like that, you're like, oh, okay, cool. You need to realize Luka Doncic has only been in the playoffs for what, 3 years? 3 years?
3 years bounced out in the first.
Mike been to the playoffs like 13 years. Like
in finals, 6 of them years.
Like guys, like the numbers, like what is the bare minimum? 14 games, and that's the average.
Yeah. That can't be the damn average.
That's what I'm trying to. But you feel me?
It's like you have to look at it like to average.
Yeah.
For the career, like Mike's career average is the highest. It's 30 points.
Yeah.
That means in a computer simulated from 1984, 30, he averaged that.
Mm-hmm.
Like it took him 15 years to average that. You could average 50 points in one season, a la Wilt Chamberlain. Average 50 points how many seasons? And Mike got a higher career average than you? Yeah. You can't play 2 playoff series and be like, damn, he's 8 for 8 for free throws, greatest free throw shooter of all time.
Yeah.
Like, no. It's like when I'm sorry to cut you off, but this pissed me off. I saw a highlight of one of these white rookies they was hyping up. I think the boy from Giddey from
Giddey got game, yeah. I like him.
He hit like a 3, and they put up the stat. They was like, Josh Giddey, first career 3, Steph Curry. 13,000. You were like, he was like, is he actually gonna chase this?
But I think it was just to show like how far ahead Steph was.
No, don't put that up there. No, that's he's never gonna catch that. He'll never touch that. Don't even give him hope. No, You play your game. Don't shoot threes to try to catch that. You play your game. There's no chance.
And now, like the average NBA game ends like 120 to 115. When Mike was there, it was like, if you got 90 points, you win. You crazy.
If the Bulls had 90 points, y'all had 45.
It was because because even when, especially they did a lot and they love talking about LeBron for everything. But I think that's what really started because they would just come up with random stuff for LeBron. They did it randomly for something that happened with Magic. They was like, oh, the first player to average 19.6 rebounds and 3 assists before the age of 22 or something like stupid. Like why do y'all even go sometimes
why does that matter?
Analytics go almost too in depth. It's like we don't care about this. And like you were saying with the whole Luka thing, and it's like, and Luka got game. I love Luka's game, but you can't sit here and take at most 21 games and be like, oh, this is the highest average ever. When Mike then played in the playoffs 13 of his 15 years.
You got Bill Russell that made it 13 straight years. Like, come on. Come on. Like, let's be for real. The boy can ball, but come on. Like, he's got a long way to go. Because if you drop it,
you stop.
Because like I said, if he scores 29 or 28, it drops his average. So does Michael Jordan get the title back? You can't do that until you retire. It's not a record until you can't break it no more.
That's how I feel.
It's like if Mike can come back and still drop 30, then that's a continuation.
Like, I feel like either he would have to play the same amount of playoff games that Mike played, then you can say that, or like you said, you had to retire because it's like even because whatever the minimum is, fine. But it's like when people, it's just weird because it's one of those things where like even this isn't to diss LeBron, but when they say, oh, he reached this plateau at 32, it took Mike till he was 33 to do it. It's like, well, you also got to realize he came in the league at 18. So, like, he had 4 extra years, three extra years to gain up to that point. So, the fact that Mike, because Mike didn't really do nothing crazy in regards to accolades his 2 years with the Wizards. So, he did all of this crazy.
Huh? He still got them to the playoffs.
So, like, he did all of this crazy stuff with the Bulls in 13 years. So like that puts a lot of stuff into perspective.
2 years. That could have been he could have been chasing Mike for the most points.
So it's like guys, come on. Like, can we breathe for a second? And it's one of those like they always media is so quick to try to find the next X, Y, and Z. It's like, can we just let these players be themselves?
It's because you have to have that somebody.
But like
they have to have black versus white. They have to.
I don't even think it was that. I just think it was the next whatever. Because they'll do the same thing with LeBron. Because if LeBron do something that it took Mike 5 years to do, and he do it in 3.
But that's the thing is they have the scene set now where it's all foreigners.
Yeah.
The best players in the league right now are all foreign. So you got Embiid versus Giannis
versus Jokic
and Luka. That's the who's gonna win. That's the magic bird. That's what that is. Because one of them is the face of the league. And who is it?
It's Giannis.
Yeah, obviously, but there's a lot of people that say it's Jokic.
You know what? Because
he might win his second MVP.
Yeah, and I've said this before. I think for whatever reason, people are so anti giving it to Giannis because I think it's a couple of reasons. One, it was supposed to just go to KD, but then LeBron was like, nigga, he's only 3 years younger than me. Like, I'm not out of my prime when everything was peaking. But at the same time, Giannis is also not an American black. If Giannis was an American black, they would be handing him the league on a silver platter. He's taken everything that he's gotten and just like, no, I'm the best player. And they refuse to give him that. Oh, he don't got a bag. The year that he don't got a bag was trending, he wins the finals. Drops 50 in the last game. Right. Oh, but he don't got a bag. Nigga, you can't stop his one item. Whatever, however you want to word it. It's like, and I think this is why us as fans like don't get the respect when we post our opinions, because you'll get people who go viral saying stuff like one dude argued with NBA player Eric Pascal. They invited him on the podcast, and he was asking, I think, about the bag between KD and LeBron. And Eric Pascal was telling him, like, yeah, LeBron is LeBron, but he was describing how KD plays. And I don't think he was saying KD was necessarily better, but he was describing like how it was harder. He was like, yeah, but from a viewer's perspective, like, it's not to the point of LeBron. He was like, but I guard him. He's like, I understand that you guard him, but I watch.
Yeah. Right.
And we was like, What?
Yeah.
Like,
It's like when Kobe was like, Tony Allen's the greatest defender of all time. They're like, nah, we'll just give that to somebody else. It's like, nah, there's multiple players
like
who told you Tony Allen is the best
on-ball defender they've ever went against.
Right, but it's like, we don't know about
a big
that.
man. We'll give it to a big.
He ain't dropped 30, so it's okay.
So I really
he
think
won't get it.
Scottie
Pippen said they were looking at Mike.
Scottie should have had some.
My dad to this day believes that Scottie should have won 1994 MVP.
He should have.
Because like what he did was just ridiculous.
Him sitting out that game is what cost it to him. The one when he threw the bitch fit when Kukoc hit it. That's what cost him the MVP.
Because my dad was saying, because he even said it. He was like, I think it was during the All-Star break or something. They were holding a vote over like the phone. They was getting like fans to call in. They gave them 3 choices, and like Scottie still won. Scottie wasn't none of the choices, and niggas was calling in and saying Scottie Pippen should be the MVP. Like that's how great he was that year. Like you said, that may have been the reason why. But yeah, but just like back to the whole thing, when it's like Giannis is clearly because I love him, and it sucked to see him play against the Bulls. But I was watching him, I'm like, this nigga is unstoppable. Yeah, you don't have an answer for him. Every time y'all say he can't do something, he gains the confidence to do it. Oh, he ain't got no mid-range jump shot. I'm gonna take a dribble and shoot the mid-range.
And that's what's terrible, because they were like, okay, he can't shoot free throws. But y'all give him 18 tries to make them.
You gonna find a groove.
You gonna find him by 6, 7. You gonna be knocking him down by 7. Like you giving him the chance to practice. He practicing on y'all. If he shoot a 3, it's gonna Kareem and he gonna get a damn alley-oop slam. I seen him do it. I seen him do it on the Bulls. It's like what is this?
It is what it is, man. So it's just one of those things. That narratives is so wild because people and then that's another thing that we can move on and get off. Another thing with the narratives, because now you got media in charge of basically these players' paychecks in regards to who's going to get an All-NBA vote. Because I think Jason Tatum went on, I think it was the Knuckleheads podcast, and he was saying that one year people said he should have made an All-NBA team. I forget, it was maybe 2 years ago. And he heard somebody say, well, he won't get voted in for me because I don't like the way it was something like minuscule or something. He was like, you cost me like $30 million because you don't agree with one thing that I do. Right. Like you got too much power.
Way too much.
And so for people to sit there and try to swear up and down that this league does not belong to Giannis, like you guys are kidding. And Luka got game. Jokic got game. Giannis is the best player on the face of the earth right now. I'm sorry. It is what it is.
Right now.
Yeah.
Whether or not he's your favorite, the numbers don't lie. LeBron is still LeBron, but he's been hurt. KD's still some of the best scorer, probably the best scorer potentially of all time in regards to his versatility and being 7 feet tall and being able to move that like that. Giannis is the most dominant player in the league right now since Shaq.
Well, since LeBron and Miami.
Well, yeah. So it's just kind of like, guys, suck it up. It's Giannis's league.
Yeah.
Like,
because if he he's in the favorite to win the MVP, but if he wins, he'll never win again. It's like the LeBron.
I don't think he'll win again just because he won back to back.
Well, but then that's the thing too. Like if Jokic wins, he'll never win unless he makes the finals. Because you already won one and didn't do it. If you win this one and didn't do it.
But see, that's when they were, it's a regular season award. So his team would have to be like the best record in the league. They would have to be
the record. But no, that's realistically you can get that to Giannis probably every year.
Yeah.
Like the man averages damn near triple double.
But then that gets that argument like with Mike. Mike was clearly the best all 13 years he was in the league, but you can't give it to him every single year. Gotta give it to somebody else.
You don't have to, but you have to.
I was telling my dad that I was like, what sense do that? Because everybody was like, there's no reason like Phil Jackson shouldn't have won all those Coach of the Years, but it's like you can't give it to him every year.
I mean, because then it starts getting watered down. Then it's like, damn, okay, another MVP, Michael Jordan, another. Because it's like at that point, what are you breaking? Like if you average 37, 8, and 6. Then the next year you average
player numbers.
Then you average 33, 5, and 7.
Oh, so down
here fell off. That give that shit to Barkley. 21 and 18. You like, yes, can't argue with it.
Yeah, they had the best record in the league. At the time. Yeah.
But it's like, Mike, you have to. If you average 37, you want this. You got to average 45 next year. You want it. That's how you have to do it.
How bad do you want it, Mike?
You got to hit 300 threes to get it this year, Mike.
In one game.
And he'd have probably did it like Steph. He'd have been knocking them joints down. That's crazy. He hit 6, and they was like, man, he's the greatest of all time.
Niggas do that, and they sleep now. Like, I remember
Clay hit
watching.
a one-legged one today.
I saw that. That was so OT.
That's ignorant.
That's so.
It's like, you
so-
shouldn't have shot that. Like,
He
that's not how
smacked
the
it.
game- that's not how
Like,
the
with
game's supposed to be
confidence. He was
played.
just.
That's not how you play the game.
Like, go sit down somewhere, man. Is there anything else we got before we get up out of here?
No, anything?
Zoo in
going
here.
on?
All right, man. We thank y'all for tuning in to yet another exhilarating installment of the Friendly Fire Podcast, the 50th episode.
50.
If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, you guys can always email us at excuse me, friendlyfire2021@gmail.com. Once again, friendlyfire2021@gmail.com. Artists, send your MP3s, send your artwork. If we like it, we'll buy it. If it's music and we like it, it'll go up at the end of the podcast. Simple as that. You can also DM us at friendly_fire on IG and also at friendlyfire on TikTok. Once again, friendly_fire on IG and friendlyfire on TikTok. FIYA. On behalf of my boys, I am Rico, G Baby, Zoo, Friendly Fire. Be blessed.
Peace.
See.